In this video, I shall be telling something very important pertaining to verbs. We know that there can be as many as 4 verbs in a given sentence. That's not the problem. The problem is when we have 2 or more verbs, how do we identify the tense of the verb? It's very simple. You can deduce the answer on your own. Here is an example. She is cooking. She was cooking. Cooking is common to both the sentences, so they cannot identify the tense. They identify an action, verb plus ing form, progressive tense, continuous work. Does not indicate an action that is going on now or was it over some time before. So the first verb is cooking, was cooking. The first verb decides the tense. Present continuous, past continuous. Second one, she has been cooking, she had been cooking. Being cooking is common to both the sentences, so they do not show any tense, that means time of action. They show an action but not the time. But the first one has is present tense, had is past tense, present perfect, past perfect. Similarly, she has been cooking, he had been cooking. Been cooking is common to both the sentences, has and had. Has is present tense, had is past tense, so present perfect continuous, past perfect continuous. This is how we need to identify the tense. That part is very, very easy. The next part comes, why do we need 2 or more verbs in some sentences? Very important point. And here we are going to introduce the word auxiliary verbs. Sometimes a sentence like, I cooking, he cooking. See here, I am telling about an action going on, cook plus ing form. But I am not indicating any time of action. Time means tense. That is not indicated. In order to bring out the tense, I introduce a new verb. He is cooking, he was cooking. This is the most important thing. Now this is, was, are, were, am. They are all called the auxiliary verbs or the linking verbs or the supporting verb. These supporting verbs are very, very important in English grammar. Look at this sentence. Lalit can run fast. Change it into a question. Very easy. Can Lalit run fast? You're right. Second sentence. Lalit runs fast. Change it into a question. No. Difficult. Because you need to introduce a new verb. Does Lalit run fast? So these new words that you introduce to indicate the time means tense again. Okay? Are called the auxiliary verbs. The auxiliary verbs can be classified into 3 groups. The be verbs, the has, have, had, do, did, done, part of verbs, and the modal verbs. The be verbs are very important. They either state an occurrence, otherwise they state a condition. Okay, they include 8 of them. Is, was, are, were, am, be, being, being. The most important function of a be verb is they always have to agree with the subject. And these be verbs never indicate an action. They have to agree with the subject. They have to introduce the tense in the given sentence. There are some 8 sentences which I shall call out a little later. Now, have, has, had, and do, did, done. They are important to ask questions. I finished writing. You finished writing. Did you finish writing? I am introducing did, past tense. Finished is past tense, so past tense form. Do, did, done, have, has, had are another set of auxiliary verbs. Why do we need them? See, a sentence like Rohit can run fast. I can ask a question, can Rohit run fast? Rohit runs fast. How do I ask a question? I need to introduce a new verb. So I say, does Rohit run fast? So to ask questions, we need these auxiliary verbs. Do, did, done, have, has, had. And also we use it for passive voice sentences. And the third are the modal verbs. These modal verbs are very different from the other 2 because they never change. Modal verbs are used to express the mood of the speaker. Like permission, may I come in? Condition, I might meet you. Or it can be an advice, you must see a doctor. Or it can be a suggestion, you should finish the work tonight. So this type of thing, but they never change the form. The may, might, can, could, all these things are modal verbs. He can do the work, she can do the work. I can do the work. They can do the work. You can do the work. The can doesn't change. These modal verbs are unique in that way. They never express any action. The be verbs, I told you, need to agree with the subject. Very important, need to identify the tense. Now here are a few examples. He is writing. He, singular, is present tense, singular. Okay, writing, continuous tense. He was writing. Singular, he was, past action, continuous action, writing. I am writing. Singular, am, present tense, continuous action. I was writing. I, singular, was, past tense, continuous action. They are writing. They, plural, are, plural verb, continuous action. You are writing. Singular, are, that is, are writing is a be verb plus continuous action. You can also be plural. You stand up the whole class. You do the work. It can be a single person. Okay, you can be common to both. So, is, are, was, were, am are 5 important be verbs depending on the subject, singular or plural. I and you function differently. Then the next 3 are be, being, being. Being can be a simple sentence like it has been done, perfect tense. Being, he is being honest. Okay, be verb. I want to be a doctor. That's all about be verbs, modal verbs, and the other 2 sets do, did, done, have, has, had. So what is the difference between a main verb and an auxiliary verb? A main verb is always there to connect the subject to its description. What is the description here? The soup is hot. The road is straight. That's the description you are giving. That is the function of the main verb. The second function is the main verbs indicate time. The auxiliary verbs help the main verb to indicate the time as well as indicate the action. That is the function of the auxiliary verbs. This is briefly about the main verbs. So far we have completed some very important information about verbs. But 2 other aspects of verbs have not been completed. They are regular and irregular verbs and the conjugation of verbs table. They are very important. At the end of the table, the importance of those 2 parts will be explained in detail. If you still feel that you have any comments about this, any queries, any doubts, be free to pass your comments in the comment section.